now you can see
Yeah.
what you have done to us.
And they have been very propitious, by the way, because
Wow,
I have
wow, wow,
learned a lot.
wow.
I have gained the confidence to record videos. I never record videos at all.
Mm,
And when I heard of the 30 days challenge that we do after the classes, and I'm like, how will
mm,
I even be able to record a video every day? Like, it's
mm,
going to be very challenging. And the fact that you have to record every day as per the assignment. I know the assignment, the last assignment you gave us, it has been very challenging because at work, you're trying to get time, but every time we try to fix a certain period to to do the assignment, something comes up. Your boss says, "Come and do this, come and do," and then the day has ended. But it has been very eventful, very challenging, and very. I have learned a lot. I have used all that I have learned into at my workplace. I have used it a lot, especially in terms of communication. I can say I think I was like on 0 point something percent on communication, especially with my colleagues, with my boss. It has been uh, tough communication, even especially when he says communicate with this person, ask questions, know what is going on, know what is wrong. I used to first go back to him, tell him what they have told me, and then come and then ask the other person, the third party, this is what my boss has said, what. And with this communication, I have been able to challenge myself, ask questions before I am told to ask questions. I have been able to learn new words. I've been able to put speeches together. This is something I'd not done before. Putting a speech together is a very difficult thing to do. But putting a speech together and understanding how the speech should align from the beginning to the end, understanding that this should be on this part, this should be in the body, this should be the introduction, this should be the ending. And like you say, how you begin the video is very important, because imagine you start with a video, hello, good evening, what, someone is going to just scroll and go to the next point. But ask a question, say, did you know that so and so is a very powerful person? Someone is going to stay there and listen to you. Is going to know what did this person do, how have they been acting, and all that. So I've been able to understand how to put two and two together, to put a speech together, to put a video together. And I am so sure that I'm going to learn more going forward. This is not the end. I'll keep learning, and I hope that I can put all of that into practice. I just
mm.
want to apologize for my assignment. It's going to come in late, but I'm going to make sure I do it. Yes, and with that, I think I would like to submit. Uh, but this has been very eventful, and especially the assignments that you gave us for the presentation, the topic I talked about. It is a very wide topic actually. When you said now we have to make a bigger presentation about it, I realized that it is very, very big and you can expand more about it and talk about it more and more. I've been seeing Coach Samuel's posts on LinkedIn and your posts also. I saw your post about KK, how you met him. I was like, okay, this is nice. Someday I should meet Coach and also see, maybe post something. So it's very, whenever I see Coach Samuel's post, I'll be like, when will I even start posting? I have that urge to post, but then I'm like, what am I going to write about? But I know that time will come when I'll start writing, when I'll start saying. I remember my first class of public speaking what happened, how I was very petrified and all that. But yeah, I think with time we are going to get there. And with that, I would like to submit and say this is still an opportunity for me to continue learning, and I hope to actually get better and better every day, because every day is a day to learn something new and improve on what we already know. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. You have shared elaborately. Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. So, rather than saying when will you post, you can start today. You can start. Every professional, according to Samuel, should have a LinkedIn, and it's true. Every professional should have a LinkedIn. You have your LinkedIn profile, what you're doing, let people know. So start posting. Don't think when will you. You can start today. So this night, wherever or whenever or tomorrow, I know after here you may want to eat and sleep and prepare for tomorrow. But tomorrow, put it as a to-do list and say I should open a LinkedIn platform and then start posting. People may not like in the beginning, but you like yourself, like your own post, and then comment yourself. When you post, go to your to the Kiki is laughing. Go to the comment section and write something. Then when somebody comes, they'll say, "Oh, one post." They may not even know that you are the one. You can share about your your experience. Yes, thank you, Coach Samuel. Share about your learning experience. Then you tag us. There's KK on LinkedIn. Coach Samuel is there. I don't know whether he's the one that created LinkedIn. He's always there. So you will see his post. Coach Samuel is the expert of LinkedIn. You may see him few times on Facebook but LinkedIn you see Coach Samuel. So tag him. There's also Sharon. Sharon is there. You tag her. Now you tag KK. There, I don't know whether Anna is there. I'm going to search for you. Then there's also Evelyn. Mama Evelyn is there. So you tag her, you tag everybody. By the time we see that we are tagged, all this battalion, as a called soldiers, battalion, this battalion of cantonment, when we come and like, and you see 7 likes, other people, when they see it, they'll be encouraged. Before you know it, the algorithm starts, spreading what you're doing. That's why it's very important to know what you are writing about. You don't come today, you write about chicken, then tomorrow you write about eggs. Then, okay, eggs they are close to chicken, but another time you come again, you're writing about mental health. Then we're wondering, chicken and mental health, what is the correlation? Then another period, you come again, and you're talking about shoes and Kampala. Your message should be direct. That's why we say at least you should fall into two areas, two places that you are passionate about, and then you talk about it. Yes, very important. So go today, go and open. In fact, that's an assignment for everyone. If you don't have a LinkedIn, the same thing we did in the other group. They went. Sharon now she's now taking over Coach Samuel. She's the assistant LinkedIn professional. She's always posting, whether she's not feeling fine or she's feeling fine. That is one thing I've learned about Sharon. If she's not very okay with it, she will ask questions. But once she gets into it, finish, forget about it. So go and start doing it. Let me hear from Mama Anna. Yes. Okay, Anna, they say Anna is also on LinkedIn. Okay. Yes. At least I've seen.
Good,
Yeah, yeah.
good evening, David.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Coach, and everybody. Just like
Yes.
Isabella, I can't believe we are here already. Feel like
How time
our time has
flies.
moved fast, but I would
Yeah.
love to. And now you know why I never want to turn my video. Some people were bombing my video.
Zero. But I love them. I love them. You have funny young public speakers. I saw the other one doing like this. They make the
Yeah.
class lively.
Oh, yes. I would like to share my experience. So when I saw the flyer, sometime, I think late last year, like in November, and then I was sure that I was going to get into the cohort. Even by the end of the year, when I was making my plan for this new year, I added it as like in the first quarter of 2026. Fast forward, I told my boss that I want to get on a public speaking cohort. And then my boss asked me, like, you're always speaking. So she didn't feel the need. She felt like I am probably already there. I'm already speaking and presenting. And then I was like, well, I want to go to the class with a growth mindset, with an open mindset to learn, because I know that there's so much that I'm yet to learn. And then fast forward, I come to the class and I record my first video and second video, and I can't even believe myself because I see all these gaps. And I'm like, wait, so I am actually an amateur at public speaking. And then my boss said, well, she felt I didn't even need the program anyway. But what that tells me is that there's always so much to learn. There's always so much that we don't know. And it's very good that you have a growth mindset and know that you can always learn something new. And my takeaway from the class is really just like Isabella, to go out there, to showcase all the good things that we are doing, like I'm doing. And this can only come with visibility, especially with the videos. Just like I promised, I am back. I keep telling, so I've shared this feedback with my boss and said, I think I'm about to become a content creator. Because I'm going to buy like the tools and equipment that I need to be doing videos, to be sharing all the knowledge and things and empowering other people, other young girls out there. I know that there's so much that we can share as individuals. And when we have the right skills and the right tools, I know that we are unstoppable. So I'm excited about the class. So much I've learned. I'm usually always talking without ending. I've listened to myself when I've recorded, and then there's no pause until David told us to pause. And I'm like, wait, why am I always rapping? So I've learned to pause, to think through, even when I'm talking. And I feel like my presentations, I've had a few presentations when I'm already on the program. And I feel like assessing from where I started and where I am now, I can actually tell that there's already a very big difference in the way I communicate, especially the part of pausing, listening to myself, and even thinking through the presentation, as opposed to just talking and as if it's a song. So I've really enjoyed the program. I look forward to even really continuous learning. I know this is just like a tip of the iceberg, what you've been able to teach us. So I want to continue, get deeper into the program, because I have a major presentation to make sometime this year in May at international level. So I'm using this as a launch pad to get ready and be prepared for the program. I'm going to be connecting with all of you on LinkedIn and share, even inbox as improve, give each other feedback so that we are all moving together and achieving as a team. Thank you so much for sharing all the knowledge, all the skills, and well, just like the Budonians say, gachari mabaga. David, if you don't get that, it means we're just starting. Thank you so much that we can learn. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this with
Wow,
you.
wow, 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 wow. You're making me feel jealous. My wife finished from Budo. So every time Budonians, in the house, I don't hear word. Budonian. She wants to cross enter under the rain. No, Budonians don't enter the rain. They use umbrella. She's crossing the road. No, Budonians don't cross the road. They don't run. They walk. Okay. They wait for the cars to finish in Kampala. So Budon, every time Budonians. Now you have said it. Maybe I have to make myself go back to my mother's womb, just like Nicodemus asked Jesus, and then start going to Budo. Wow, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Wow, this has been very, very powerful. Your sharing has been powerful. You know, the deception people have, especially those who are already leading, who are already having people under them, team supervising, that they don't need the skill of public speaking. Imagine that. I met a very senior lecturer recently, and she was saying, public speaking, do I need public speaking? I said, you need public speaking. You have to convert your talent to skills. The fact that you can speak is a talent, very good. But do you know the process? Like you are saying, some people speak from morning till night, and their audience is already bored. They can't even read. That these people are tired. Let me stop here. The man is speaking, and he's telling you, me, I can speak. When I start speaking, and people are looking at him. You're proud that you can speak, but we're already tired. Many of them, they just speak like, so they have this this mindset that no, there's no need for. So when they hear you, you're not the first person. Even myself, some years ago, like 5 years ago, I wanted to go for an MC stroke public speaking. Then I said I want to become an MC also. So I went for a short course, and somebody saw me and said, "You're going for a short course?" I said, "Yes." Person said, "Don't disturb yourself. Just enter your room, just psych yourself that I can speak, then go and do MC." I said, no, MC need a skill. It's not that you just come and start talking and bamboozling everybody. The person said, no, don't disturb yourself. And today, I'm still learning. So people have that deception. You convert your talent to skill. From skill, you become an expert. So you are now in the part of expertise. Now from expertise, you become an authority. So you can wake up anytime you are talking about what you know. Why? Because there's a process from talent to skills, from skills to expert, from expert to authority. You are a prof now. They wake you in the dream, talk about public speaking, or you can sit down and you're already seeing this person. This man, the way he's talking, this is a good place to end. But the man is still speaking. When people are clapping, wow, that is the time he's supposed to say, thank you very much for listening. But he said, no, I've not finished my point. He still talking. And then when it's now ending, everybody is just looking at him. They're not clapping again. There's how they say that you leave the stage when the ovation is high. But people don't know that. How do you enter a room? How do you gauge? How do you dress? They don't know all those things. Some people are, no, I'm very good. They know me in Kampala. So you don't dress well. You just come and you present and you go. No, you've said it. I think you will be one of our ambassadors. You go and tell those people that they need public speaking. Preach it to them to to come and join the program. Thank you so much. Yes, like KK said, we can send our LinkedIn link to the WhatsApp group, and so that we follow each other. Those of you that have not gotten a LinkedIn, please go and open. There's no excuse. As Samuel put it, visibility is the new currency. Many of us are affected because of how we were brought up. I grew up from a very conservative family. Number one. Number two, I went to a conservative church. They tell you, no. Allow God to announce you. That's how my father told me. Very, very funny. I had privileges that I should have made myself visible. I was a very serious conductor. When I conduct orchestra, you see the violin, you see people are clapping. There were some white men that came to me. We are going with you to Macedonia. I told my father. My father said, no, 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 no. Allow God. Don't allow people to come to you to announce you. Allow God. And we have been allowing God since 1983 and 43 years. Woo! Not knowing God is also waiting for you. 43 years, you're waiting for God to announce you. 43. When you're supposed to, I love what you said. Personal growth is intentional. When you're supposed to have a plan that, oh, today I will do this, then you pray. God will do the rest. But you are waiting for God. 43 years, we are still in the wilderness. We are what? I don't know whether we are footing or we are taking aircraft or we are using ship. But we have been waiting for God to announce us. So that is the mindset. So we grew up with that mindset. Then now social media came. When it came, we said, no, 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 no. No, let's be humble. You don't show yourself. Don't announce what you're doing. The person that is telling you not to announce, the church is doing publicity. They are doing advert on radio. The man of God that is telling you, allow God to announce you. My father is on radio preaching. My father is on television. They are seeing him in Nigeria. My father is telling you not to not allow God to announce you. He is there, he's telling everybody in the church, use your flyer, go and invite everybody to come for service. In fact, there was a day I was very little. The people that did not bring anybody for service, he locked the door. Nobody entered the church. That was how tough he. Imagine, people were afraid. They didn't come to church because they did not have somebody to bring. But that is somebody telling you, allow God to announce you. So that is how we grew up. Now social media came. We were on Facebook. They say, no, you must open Instagram, open this one. You say, no, no, no. I don't want people to know what I'm doing. You're very good at what you're doing, but you don't want people to know. You're just there. You have masters, you have PhD, look at you now telling us you're going for international thing. Maybe you should have kept quiet and we just see you and support you somewhere from the back. Visibility is key now. People that don't even have half of what we are doing, they're visible and they're getting the money. Seriously, it's a very serious thing. People are there, they don't know anything, just a little. Why? They are visible. Wow. I hope this helps us. KK, I know let's hear from you. Just you, and then we kick off. I know KK can talk. He's an orator. I see him as an orator. In fact, to support my thinking, because the first time he gave his speech, you remember that speech he rushed, speech one, speech week one, week two, week three. I said, no, this guy must have been either a leader of something on campus. And true to it, when I went to Makerere to talk to some student, I saw KK. He was the one holding the projector for his MBA class. Imagine. I said it. Everybody was waiting for. He was the one holding even the lecturer on hostage. He was taking picture with me, and then I said, "But you're with the project." He said, "No, if I don't go to class, nobody goes to class." And as soon as he finished the picture, that was when lecturers started going to class. So the guy is a lead. I will not be surprised if you're one of the men that will become president of. I don't want to say Uganda because for now. Let me keep quiet. Okay, go ahead. It may be president of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yes, yes.
And thank you for your kind words and remarks. Above all, thank you for checking on me at MOOC that day. Good evening, colleagues. My takeaway, I'm going to summarize it in like 5 points. One, I appreciate the lesson of overcoming fear of public speaking. Just like Coach said that some people would prefer to die than to give a speech in public. And I think most of us have appreciated it, that it is now possible to speak and freely and with confidence to any audience that comes our way. Two is about the video challenge. Sincerely, coach, for me, I had issues with the time. That's why I delayed to submit my coursework, but I had never recorded myself in a video. I've always been recorded by other people on functions and so on. But sitting in front of the camera and I record myself, it was the first time. I first kept laughing at myself until I said, no, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to give it a try. Then the third takeaway is when you talked about preparing for the speech, checking in early in terms of time management, your arrival, but also keeping in mind of how much time has been allocated for you to deliver your speech. Do not overstay on the stage, just like you have said. At the time you're supposed to finish, your audience is reading that you're about to finish, then for you are like beginning. That one spoke a lot to me, and the one of coming early for any function, especially if you're going to speak, such that you pick the temperature of the room and the vibe, and you connect with your audience even before you're being called on the podium, such that by the time you're going to speak, you have already connected. In fact, if you have sensed anything in the audience, you can now twist your speech such that it suits their expectation. Then the other one was taking up the opportunity to speak whenever it comes. If there is anything, you are in a gathering and they have said someone to give us a closing prayer, you should be sharp, you should be available to take up that opportunity. But not forgetting the subject that you emphasize, the research bit of it. We should speak with confidence from an informed point of view through research, researching on the topic and consulting your peers or colleagues whom you think understand the topic better than you. Another important lesson I took home was that public speaking is work in progress. Through continuous improvement, get feedback, yes, be able to incorporate it into what you have done and purpose to be better the next time you get an opportunity to speak. I cannot forget to talk about the flow of the speech, that catchy opening remark that opens everybody's ears given the short concentration span of our audience, but to keep them wanting to know what you're going to talk about. Then talking about the subject like the body, but also in that way communicating the flow that you are like taking people through the journey. Yes, I have started. Now I'm on the main topic. I am concluding. Keeping your speech or our speeches in that kind of flow, such that the audience resonates with what you're presenting. When they are expecting you to finish, don't again restart. Keep the flow very well and finish successfully. I also want to talk about this when you gave us the assignment for presentation. We had good slides. We did a good job, all of us, and we put these things together. But there is some of us, like Coach Samuel said, we put a lot of content on the slide. Now, to me, that was great insight. Actually, I was given an assignment to present to the department, the projects department. And immediately we finished the class, I went back to my slides. I removed most of the words, such that now, should the time come, I am just going to speak to the pointers, just like Coach Samuel emphasized, that keep the slide not crowded. Put their pointers in that when you're speaking, you're not just reading, but you're just getting the pointer and you speak to the pointer, you explain it, that it brings confidence to the audience that you really know and understand the subject that you're handling. Then also, that is in line with the content you prepare vis-a-vis the time. Yes, I don't know what's happening to my screen. Okay, the content you prepare. Sometimes we have a lot and the time is very little. So when Coach Samuel gave us that feedback of you can have a good subject, but if the time is not available, it's not enough, then don't present the entire subject, but present an aspect of the subject. I have talked about the pointers. And lastly, Coach David, I would like to request you to kindly allow that when you find some time, come up with a flyer. I would like to organize for you an MBA class for MOOC. As you prepare for your next cohort, you first give them a master class why public speaking is important in our lives, because most of them now are in managerial positions. And as their class president, I know they need this because I see how they struggle to do presentation for assignments and courseworks, defending research and so on. So when you get time, let's come up with that flyer. We can do an online one, but I trust me, out of the 100, at least you can get maybe 20 or 30 in the cohort, and that would be good for us. I thank you so much. I can't forget to thank Coach Samuel for putting this together. I first saw it on the group, TPC, and I was encouraged even during this cohort. He reached out to me and said, Ken, this is something you need to be part of. Coach Samuel, may God bless you. To my fellow colleagues, I really thank you so very much. You've made it, you've made learning so easy and interesting for me. Coach David, yeah, thank you so much. Over to you.
I see everybody's enjoying you. Even Isabel. Isabel even had to change her background to really enjoy you. Same thing with Anna. She had to sit very well on her seat to enjoy the presidential speech. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kenneth. That was very humbling. Thank you. You've learned a lot. What you shared about taking time to research is very key. Many public speakers don't read. So let's cultivate the habit of reading. I know some of us reading is not something we give ourselves to, but even if you can spend 30 minutes or audio book or whatever, it will go a long way, especially in the subject matter you want to really be known for. You want to be among those who are talking about it in the top is it 1% or 5%? So it's very key with research. Then you talked about reading the room and also presentation skills. I was disappointed sincerely when I went to MOOC and final year students could not really present. Some of them were lacking the skills. And even one of them came to me and said, but I present. I know how to present. But today, the way you talk about it, I now see I can't present. I say, oh, but she presented and she was the first person to come out. And everybody was like, wow, wow, when they asked, Group 3, are you ready? Group 2, are you ready? But she came to me privately and said, wow, that means I don't know how to present because she saw the loopholes. So there is that thinking that people have naturally that I can, is it not to talk? I can talk. I can talk. But some people talk and yet the audience, they are making noise. You don't have the, I don't know how to call it, the charisma. Yes, let me use that word. The charisma to command the room that everybody is listening to you. Even when they are having side talks, they know that there's somebody in charge. But have you found people? They are leaders, but they are talking, people are also talking at the back. at the background. They are whispering. You have meeting in a meeting in a meeting in a meeting. There's no command. You find MCs, they are MCing, but they can't hold the room together. Somebody will come and tell, no, MC, I think we should start sharing food. And you are just started. Somebody just comes to direct you. And the MC announce, okay, yes, I think now we should go for lunch. And then another person come, no. You can't do lunch now. Call the right father. And the person that is controlling you is not even in the part of the family, was not even part of the committee. They're just controlling you as MC. You can't have a command and say, no, I'm the MC of this event, I'm the leader of this event, I'm the chairperson of this meeting. This is the order of meeting. From this to this, I can be flexible, but from the way I've seen things, we shouldn't do that now. People will respect you. Everybody will keep quiet. But have you found leaders? They're in a meeting. Everybody's giving suggestion. There's no direction of meeting. They can't command the meeting. Everybody is giving their own agenda. They are talking. You can't say no. If you want to talk, raise up your hand. If you don't have anything to say, please keep down your hand. But everybody is talking. That's where public speaking comes in. So very, very briefly, I want to share something that I feel will help us how to handle questions, and then same with what they call it, impromptu speaking. Somebody can call you just on the spur of the moment for you to speak. Can you speak, or will you say I didn't prepare? So I will not spend time in what we did last week, but I'll just say a few things that for your presentation to carry potency, your introduction must be compelling, and your conclusion must be memorable. So many people have their handicap. They start very well, but they end poorly. Some start poorly, but they end very powerfully. Some start poorly, they also end poorly. So you should balance up. Content is key. It's not about your content, but also delivery is king. Think about that. Content is key, but delivery is king. No matter how much you have, just see how to distill. So from now on, as we finish, even I think on the 15th, we're going to have a mock presentation, what you're going to present on the final day, on this, is this second or first? I'm trying to remember now. So you present what you are going to say on that day, mock presentation. I'll give you the topic is already there. I will share the topic because some of you, maybe the document is lost because of so many postings. So I will share the topics, your topic. So you will do a mock presentation of that topic. Now, try now to start practicing how to cut your speech. Let's say they give you 3 minutes. Don't complain. You've gone, it will happen, I'm telling you. Now that you've entered public speaking, you will start seeing opportunities opening up for you to speak. Now, when you get to some place, they've told you you have 1 hour. You have prepared for 1 hour. Reaching the venue, they tell you, oh, we are very sorry from the look of things, because perhaps they were not good time managers or something happened. Perhaps they were waiting for one of the guest speakers and he came late and they had to squeeze in time. Or it may happen that people came late, so they had to start the program late, African time. So they tell you now, sorry, please, can you give everything in just 10 minutes? You don't go there and say, but you told me 1 hour. I've prepared for 1 hour. No. What I want to share is 1 hour. I don't, and you get angry. No. Tell them, thank you very much. Use that 10 minutes, but scatter the place. Scatter the place. Give them on point. Now select the points that are very, very important. That is where now you're scrutinizing your structure, your flow of your speech in 10 minutes. In fact, aim at ending 9 minutes. So you give 1 minute for you to come down from the stage or to climb up. So they just see that, oh, this guy, this woman is different. So 10 minutes. You will find yourself in situations like that. I gave you my story. If I've not, some of you have not heard it. I took a break. I joined Toastmasters, but I took a break because there was so much going on. Now, there was a time I was to give a speech, not just an international speech, but even within our clubs. They give you 5 minutes. If you go above 5 minutes, you're not a good speaker. You are not a good time manager. Time management is also part of public speaking. Don't mind all these people you see, they give them time and they jokingly say, no, timekeeper, don't give me the time. Nigerians are fond of that. I've seen a speaker speaking in a very big meeting and they are showing him timer, electronic timer, and he has gone beyond the time. Now somebody went at the background to give him, sign that, see, you have gone beyond. And the man started shouting, don't show me time. Don't show me time. Allow me to flow. Oh, don't show me time. And this was a political gathering. And people were laughing, but they have taken notes. Next time, they will not invite you. Next time, this is a very great man, but next time, they will not invite. So when they give you time like that, respect it. The same thing with international contests. They give you time, you are representing a country. For example, myself, I was representing Uganda, and to worsen it, I'm Nigerian. So if I make Uganda to fail, I may be stoned to death. So they've told me your speech is 7 minutes. 7 minutes on a dot. Plan to finish at least 6:50. If you go less, you're failed. If you go above, you're failed. So be in the middle. Be in the middle. Be in the middle. Also, they give you impromptu speaking and they say speak for 2 minutes. If you go less, you're failed. If you go above, you're failed. You see how to balance. So your communication must contain visions, thoughts, emotions, and thoughts, emotions, visions. Emotions is even key. Number one, we shouldn't see you plastic. Gava, I'm not giving you your response, your feedback. But one of the things I saw, you are very calm, very good, but there's no emotion when you're speaking. You don't connect. What you're saying is very great. You are talking of livelihood and different things. But then there was no emotions. So emotions is key. Very, very key. Apart from the fact that you're competent, people want to see emotions. They want to know, do you care? Yes, you're competent, you have character, they can trust you, but they also want to know, does it connect? Does it connect? Does it connect? Can you move people to action? Can you move people to action? Caring connects. Can you move people to action? Word of the week, Anna told us succinct. So I'm waiting to hear how you're going to use the word succinct or succinct or whatever, succinctly. Isabella has used it, so very good. So very quickly, there's so much to learn in public speaking. There's so much. Public speaking alone, there's so much. Then communication alone, you can't exhaust it. I have many materials. Some of them I've not even finished exhausting them. On public speaking, on communication, different aspects, and it's evolving every day. So we want to see how do you use story to inspire action, even when you go for interviews. You need to tell stories. Somebody may wonder, how do I tell stories in my interview? Yes, you can tell stories. They ask you, what's your hobby? you can share your hobby using stories. They ask you, tell us who you are. You share your story. You don't just say, they ask you, how do you know about this company? I searched the internet and I saw that this organization is good. Finish. You keep quiet. Share story. You begin? It just happened some time ago. I was just on my own. You use this. There's a method I know about, the STAR method. The situation. You talk about the situation, how you came across the company. T, the tax. Now, what you were doing, and even what you are coming to do in that organization, the tax. Then the ST, A, action. What action what did you involve yourself with? Then the result. What result? Or if there's no result yet, you tell them the result you are expecting by the time you join the organization. So everything is surrounded about storytelling. You have a product, you share a story around it. You don't just say, I have this, I want to sell, and you keep quiet. You should tell stories. Then how do you think on your feet? They've told you now, Isabella, give us the speech for the presidential inauguration. You don't say, you didn't tell me. Right there, you begin to talk, you begin to speak. We shall see the techniques. Then how do you handle questions and answer? Very, very key. So the learning outcomes, they are there. How do you use impromptu speaking frameworks? How do you handle questions? How do you engage with storytelling? Because caring connects. Caring connects. So let's go ahead. Highlights. People see their own lives in stories. Think about it. That I've shared my story most times, how I began this journey, then also my marriage, how a lady left me. I'm walking away from the troubles of my life. So if you have been in that situation before, you can understand, you can see your own life. Or if you're experiencing something similar, you can understand that. So because of that, we began a marriage program, because I'm like, no, people should not face the problem or the same issue I faced. 2 weeks after marriage, that is the only time I enjoyed. After honeymoon, 2 weeks, the lady left. That's the only time we enjoyed. That was the end of the marriage. 2 weeks. Somebody asked, are you serious? 2 weeks? Yes, it's possible. When something is not grounded in love, somebody leaves you and the lady says, I don't love you anymore. So it was based on feeling, nothing but feeling. So just like that, she left 2 weeks after wedding. Did Kwanjulai in Uganda here, went to Nigeria, did wedding, and the wedding people came. Imagine international wedding. During my Kwanjula, we sang the national anthem of Buganda and the national anthem of Nigeria. It was very powerful, but not knowing it was to end in 2 weeks. So after that, I was broken. But now I'm a firm believer of marriage education. If somebody tells me now, there are some people who have been counseling of late, just even free of charge, I just say, let me help, let me pour into them. And the guy is in love, seriously in love. The lady is seriously in love. Now they call me and my wife to say they are in love. And then we ask one question. Have you educated yourself maritally? Forget premarital counseling. That one, they do it very quickly. You go to church or you go to a counselor. They tell you, do this, write like this, just because they want to put your name to announce. No, have you intentionally? Have you bought books to start reading? What do you have to do as a man? Do you understand a woman? That is the first place. As a man, you cannot bring your ego into the family. That is what causes many marriages to break. When a man wants to behave like the father, When I was like my father, my mother used to cook everything. No, 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 no. Can you also help your wife? As a man, as a woman, have you studied a man? Do you know how a man thinks? Temperament, very important. Most couples don't know their temperament. You don't even know how to solve conflict. You don't know that saying sorry is important. So they don't educate themselves. So they go with feeling and they marry and they are surprised that marriage is reality. Do you learn how to communicate, how to open up? How do you share? Do you know your love language? Very important. Your wife needs attention, but you say, no, 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 I'm providing for the family. Can you understand her and give her some time? So it made us to say, no, 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 let's take this thing seriously. So we took time, myself and my wife, apart from the counseling they do in church, we say that one, they rush it. They don't even ask you personal questions because you are many. So you are even ashamed to ask some questions. You went through trauma. You can't ask it because people are there. So you keep quiet. But you're holding things. But you are also in love. You are in trauma. You have not healed from trauma, and you want to marry, and you're also in love. So there's that trauma bonding. Then the other person also have their past, or maybe they had a very good upbringing, but now both of you, your upbringing is different, even if you're from the same culture. So there's no education. So we said no. Let's leave after church. We are going for another one. So we saw a man, and we took time with him. Every Friday we go to him. And he started asking us some questions like this. We are crying. Imagine me and my wife will cry. We saw that, this place, it will bring problem. That's why they say people who divorce or who have experienced divorce, when they enter into the next relationship, the likelihood of them divorcing is high because many times they come with a baggage and expectation. So we got to heal ourselves very seriously. So when a guy comes to me, especially men, when they come to me and say, I want to get married, the first question I ask, have you educated yourself maritally? Maritally. Very important. So people see their lives in their stories or in your stories. Once you know how to guide a conversation, you know how to control it. I told you of the need to be in control of conversation. Be in charge. You are steering a meeting. Be in charge. So the question is, what's your story? If I may ask you, what's your story? Have you gotten to a point where you want to share your story? Maybe you have not gotten to that point. It's okay. It is understandable. Like me, I was not in a place to share my story because I was ashamed. I felt stigma. I felt, how will somebody marry and in 2 weeks the woman leaves you, and then you've grown up in church, your father is a pastor, everybody looks high at you. So those who don't experience the church life, so to say, they are having it well in their marriages, so to say. Have you seen guys who don't go to church, but they know how to handle a woman, or they know how to handle a man? But people in church, they take things for granted. So I was in that state. So I couldn't share my story. But I got a point where I had to heal. And that healing comes when you're sharing your story and it doesn't touch you. You don't break down. At some point, I was always breaking down. On the road, I was depressed and things like that. So what's your story? Can you share it? Can you share your story? Don Yaga said, memorable storytelling is a combination of what you say and how you say it. So each time I can bring bits and pieces of my story. I have so many stories of how I failed in life. I'm an example, I'm an embodiment of somebody who have failed in life and picked up again. The word resilience. Resilience. My first degree, we didn't have certificate. So the vice chancellor was busy doing political campaigns, and if he left signing certificates. And then the course also was not accredited. So they lied to us. So I did 4 years, or is it 5 years in the university plus diploma. So 5 years. I finished 5 years, and at the end of it, they tell you, sorry, no certificate. So we finished, we went home, nothing to show. Now you have to start again afresh. Many people could not go back home because they were ashamed. To what would they tell their parents? So they started life from another city. Their parents are calling them, where are you? I thought by now you're finished school. They are lying to their parents. But me, I couldn't live that life. I just had to brace up myself, go back home, tell my parents, sorry, this degree, there's no certificate. And my dad said, no, I can't believe it. You went to spend my money and you're lying to me. I said, no. But lucky enough, he knows that his son is full of integrity. Now, it was my mother who came secretly to me in the room one day and said, we are looking at 10 years. 10 years from now, what will you be? Go back to school and start afresh. Hey, my God. After 5 years, you go back again, you start. Imagine, you have finished university. Now you're going not for a master's, not for a PhD, not for a course you wanted to do earlier, and now you got the cutoff point. No, you are going to start afresh because the one you did, the mistake of the university management or system did not give you that leveling ground. So I started again afresh. I've not shared this story with many people because sometimes I just skip it. So I started afresh. Starting afresh when I was now getting to second year or third year, that is when the vice chancellor, because he didn't, I think he didn't win his political ambition. Now he settled down. That was when they brought out certificate. But imagine 3 years have gone, 4 years have gone for some people. Some people were very old in the class. They are matured. So imagine the wastage of time. So when they brought out certificates, that was when I thought about it. No, I cannot stop this. I have to continue. That's why I have 2 first degrees. It's not that I love education. I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm not Albert Einstein. I have 2 first degree. Why? Because of a problem from the management. So resilience. People see their lives in your story. People may forget what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. Be vulnerable when you're sharing your story. Why stories? This is what Dale Carnegie said. Great truths in the world have been couched in fascinating stories. So I think it was Kennedy that said he watched, is it Barack Obama or one of those speakers? Then Isabella said also she watched somebody, and then some of you mentioned, is it Anna mentioned one of the great speakers and how he was communicating. See their stories, hear how they say it, not just what they say, but how they say it. They make you to have emotions. You can feel yourself into it. When I share my story, people can feel, oh, this guy has gone through a lot. Imagine you come to a country thinking that your marriage will be solved, and you're calling your so-called wife. She's not picking your phone. She has barred you. She has blocked your line. So you go on Facebook, you look for her. She has blocked you. You go on Instagram, she has blocked you. So there's nobody to check. So you're at the airport. You don't know what to do. So you just call an airport taxi. Just say, take me to any hotel or guest house, keep me there. Yeah, but it should be that you should have somebody here. And you're telling the taxi man from the airport, yes, I'm married. And he's telling, but why can't your wife come and pick you at the airport? You can't understand it. You also have issues with immigration. Immigration is saying, you say you're married. Are you sure? But where's the wife? And you're trying to explain, you're bringing out marriage certificate at the airport. Imagine. Instead of bringing out your passport, your any other document, you're bringing out marriage certificate to prove to immigration that you're married. Can you imagine that? How it can be very, degrading. You're showing immigration your marriage certificate, and they are looking at you, pitying you, and you're calling the woman. The phone number is not anywhere. So you don't know what to do. You just enter a hotel. You don't know anybody in Uganda. You're just there, but you're having hopes that the marriage will reconcile. So you're in the hotel, you're in the guest house, and you stay there for a month, and then money has finished. You don't know anybody. Money has finished. The hotel people are saying, guy, your money has finished. You have to leave this place. But you're trying to explain that you don't know anyone here, so they should allow you. So you see the kind of, experience. You're giving emotions. Stories are data with a soul. You can feel it. You can relate. Kennedy also said, the ideas I stand for, they are not mine. I borrowed them from Socrates. I swiped them from Chesterfield. I stole them from Jesus. And I put them in a book. If you don't like their rules, whose would you use? The power of storytelling. I'm going to encourage you, go and read this book, Talk Like Ted. And there's another one on storytelling. You will enjoy the power of storytelling. There are 3 types of stories, like I've shared. Your personal stories, other people's stories, success stories, and then professional stories. So you have to think about which of them you're good at sharing. If you're good with your personal stories, it's okay. If you want to be vulnerable. If you're not vulnerable, don't worry, but then you must share stories. So there are other people's stories you can share. If you're not okay with other people's stories, then what's your professional story? How did you come to where you are now in your work, in your profession, where you are? How did you get there? How do you share your story? Show your audience. Like I told you in the last class, your audience should be able to see, show them vision. Your communication must contain vision. Show them. Help them. How you tell your story will show if you're helping them. Like me now, if I'm talking about marriage, I'm trying to help somebody. Don't fall in the mistake I made, that I came to a country and just in 3 days or in 2 days of coming into that country, I fell in love. And immediately I struck marriage with a person. I don't know how she is. I don't know her background, so to say. I just saw her parents. We were in the choir together singing. She had a very good voice singing, and I fell in love with the voice. And I felt that, oh, I'm also a musician. How will it be to have a wife as a musician, tall? We're in an orchestra, performance, and they look at us, oh, this husband and wife, they are singing. It doesn't work that way. Now I can talk in hindsight that it doesn't work that way. How many of us married somebody we really wanted to marry? No. You wanted to marry an architect, but now you're married to a businessman or to a businesswoman. It doesn't work that way. So now I can tell somebody, I can help somebody. Amplify your story. Let them imagine. Take them through a journey. As you're communicating, can somebody imagine where you're going to? Take them from A to B. Relate with them. How do you want them to feel? Emotions, again, come into play. Let your story be enjoyable. Don't be too strict. Your story should be enjoyable. So share your story. Show them. S, help them. H, amplify. A, relate. R, and then E, enjoy. Even yourself, have fun. People don't care what you say, but they don't forget how you made them feel. Remember, they are asking, does he care for me? Compassion. So make your story unforgettable. Now, we come to something very, very important. Uncle Sam. Luckily, we have Sam in our midst, Coach Samuel. So what does Uncle Sam mean? S for speaker, A for audience, M for message. The S, a speaker-centered presentation. You are focused on yourself. A speaker-centered presenter will either irritate the people or just make them, enjoy your speech. You just dazzle them. You don't make enough impact because you're focused on yourself. Now, many people say, no, I have to focus on myself. How do I dress? I've had people, no, I don't look nice. Oh, they are going to look at me this way. This shoe I'm wearing, especially ladies. Oh, my shoe is tall. My shoe is long. The men will say, no, my shirt is not good. You're focused on yourself. Oh, my speech. You're a speaker-centered presenter. You'll never make an impact. How about audience-centered presentation? You care for your audience. You don't just say it, but how you say it is very good. Remember the percentage, 58%. So you move people to action. You connect with them emotionally. You're an audience-centered presenter. You want to move your audience to action. So what is said, who says it, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a very good intention, oh, I want to make my audience see me this way. That's a good intention. But do you care for them? Do you care for your audience? Let's talk about the message. Many people spend time in the message, but your message is not important. It's not so important than the audience. So when you look at the speaker, when you look at the audience, when you look at the message, the most important person, the most important personality in any speech, in any gathering, is your audience. You may never have thought about it, but think about it. The most important person in any speech is the audience. So from today, never focus on yourself. Never focus so much on your message. Focus so much on your audience. What value do you want to give to them? How do you want them to feel when you leave? You can give a speech and people will not forget it in the next 5 years. That means you are focused on your audience. But are there people that immediately after you finish, they forget? Because you are focused on yourself, how you dressed, how you are going to walk into the room, your message, how your content is going to look like. Even in your video, when you're shooting your video, who are you thinking about? Are you thinking about yourself or the content you're creating? Or you're thinking about the audience that are going to listen to you? Think about it. So measure your intention versus impact. Your number one job is impact, not your good intention. They always say if the Good Samaritan had only intention, then we will not hear about what he did for the man who was sick or beaten by the wayside. So you have to connect. Connecting is key. Connection, number one. How do you bond with your audience? Bond. That your audience just love you. They want to hear you speak. No matter how good your intentions are, your connection is very key. Connection. Invest in connecting. So never forget Sam, the speaker, the audience, the message. Rather than being you-centered, rather than being me-centered, be you-centered. Be you-centered. So just because you say it or you said it does not mean that the people will believe you. No. How you say it is important. How you connect is very important. I hope this is making so much sense. You may impress people through your struggles, but you connect with them through your weakness. Have you seen speakers who sound as if they have it all figured out? They have never had any issues in life. They speak arrogantly to their audience. They may not show it that they are arrogant, but the way they look, they've passed all the exams in life. They don't show struggle. So your audience does not relate with you. There's no weakness. You're a pastor, you're preaching, or in your church, you're preaching to people about prayer, about anything. But somewhere in your life, you've not told people how sometimes you miss praying. You want to show people that you're always praying for 2 hours, for 1 hour, for 30 minutes. But you've not shown them that there are sometimes that the pressures of life comes upon you and you're wondering, God, how will I do it today? And you just sit there still. You're not saying anything. And you are just there weak because the pressures of life are weighing you down. You don't know where to go. But you're sounding like no matter what it is, you pray for 2 hours. No. Show weakness. People can connect through your weakness. Great leaders or communicators are not those who are just right, but are those who are real. Wow. The day I had this, I was listening to a podcast by Progress Shell. When he said this, it stuck with me some years ago, about 3 years ago. It stuck with me. Great leaders, and I added great communicators. He's a leadership coach, but me, I added communicators. Great leaders and communicators are not those who are just right, but are those who are real. Be real to people. Let them connect with you. An effective presentation should always touch the human heart. It should also address human concerns. And if it doesn't do the two, at least it should do one. It should address the human heart. It should address human concerns. So if you're not touching the heart, you should be touching somewhere of human concerns. You should be solving a problem. Again, people may forget what you say, but they never forget how you make them feel. When I talk to you one-on-one, how do you make me feel? How do you make me feel? In your video presentation, in your speech, as you're going to present now to big crowds, let them see that you are making them feel good. So, very quickly, what questions do you ask yourself? Number one, how will I connect with them before you speak? While you are speaking, number two, you ask yourself, am I connecting? You see how these things play. Before you speak, you're in the audience, you're seated, or even preparing your speech, 3 days to the time, 1 week to the time, 2 weeks, 1 month to the time. Before you speak, you're asking yourself, how will I connect? Even 5 minutes before you climb up the stage, you're asking yourself, how will I connect? Now, while you are speaking on the stage, the human brain is working. That's how God created us. You can do these things simultaneously. While you are speaking, ask yourself, am I connecting? So it means now you are reading the room. You are watching the room. Am I connecting with my audience? Am I connecting? Then when you are done speaking, maybe you're taking questions, you're taking feedbacks, comments, or you're even gone back to your seat. Ask yourself again, did I connect with my audience? This is very key. Before you speak, how will I connect? While you are speaking, did I connect or am I connecting? Am I connecting? You can know if you're connecting. You can know, you can know, you can know, you can know. Sometimes you have very stubborn audiences. They can make things difficult for you. Hostile audience. So you can know if you're connecting. You can even feel it. You are a human being. You can feel it. They are resisting you. Maybe they don't know you. They have just heard about you, or you're replacing somebody. They were expecting their favorite speaker, and somebody just calls you, your boss or anybody. Please, 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 you're going to speak. This person is not going to be around. So your audience may have that hesitation. They may be hesitant. So when you go there, you ask, am I connecting? You can know. Then, did I connect? Did I connect? If you're a spiritual communicator, many of us here are Christians, or it depends on your religion. In fact, no matter your religion, it is spirituality. Every religion is a spiritual means to connect to a creator that they think is far away. Every religion. So there's that spirituality. So if you're a spiritual connector, your humanity connects, but your spirituality inspires. So many of us here are Christians. So don't just show your humanity that you connect. Show your spirituality. Show them that you're living the life of a true Christian, of what you believe, not that you're speaking about it. So that gives you credibility, because they're asking the question, can he help me? Competence. Then there's credibility. Does he live what he's speaking? So practice what you preach. We're almost ending. Impromptu speaking. How does it work? When you're called on the spot to speak. So it is not about knowing everything. It's about trusting that you already know something, or what you know is enough, so to say. So you don't have to panic. They have called you. Can you give us, maybe you're before a camera. Talk to us about the political issues of the country, or they give you a topic, project management. But you're not a project manager or guru like KK. Can you say something on the spot? They call you, talk about women empowerment. Can you say something on the spot? Or do you say, no, I've not read about it? So it's not about knowing everything. It's about what you already know. I remember those days in school, I did history and strategic studies, my second degree after that other degree did not work out. So I went to University of Lagos and I did history and strategic studies. Some schools call it history and international studies. So for you to pass very, very well, you need to write elaborately. So they can give you the booklet, the exam booklet, 4 pages. You write 4 pages you can be having a B or a C, just there, just a partial B or C. If you really want to have a solid B or a solid A, you need to use like 2 booklets or 3. So they can ask you a question. Tell us the history of the Second World War, or the history of Mansa Musa, or the history of East Africa. I did a lot of East Africa history. I think God knows a way of, God is humorous. I've never come to Uganda before, but I was in university. They told us to select courses, elective. Can you imagine? I was doing East African history. I knew about Kabaka. I knew about Bunyoro Kingdom. I knew about all those things before I even came to Uganda to say I fell in love. Can you imagine? Not knowing God was planning my path. Even in my master's, they asked me, which dissertation will you do? What's your project? I said, Uganda. Can you imagine? So there was a guy, he knew this trick of lecturers that if you want to really pass very well, you have to write elaborately. He's a friend of mine. He was one of the top students, but for some reason that exam he didn't do he didn't prepare very well. So what did he do? He was just repeating the questions in different form. So the question was, talk about the Westphalian Treaty of 1648. There's a treaty, when you look at the religious wars of the Catholics and the Anglicans and different people, and then the time the international relations was existing. There were some treaties they had to make between Germany and different places. So now, love before first visit. That is good. I love that. I love that. Love before first visit. That can be a quote. I love that. I love that. Love before. So you can see how I have stayed in Uganda even after they did not answer me. In fact, they almost beat me up when I was trying to reconcile, but I still stayed in Uganda. So it made a lot of sense, especially when KK told me the last time that, Coach David, you are doing a great work in Uganda. I said, wow, this is very touching. I almost cried. I'm serious. I'm an emotional person. Some of you don't know. I may be tough outside, but inside I'm very, very well. Let me not give you my secret so that you will submit your assignment. Submit your assignment. Those of you that have not submit your assignment. I'm tough. I'm tough. Okay. Just joking. So love before first visit. So this guy, they asked, what is the Westphalia Treaty of 1648? Now, for historians, you have to use, and for us in international relations and history together, you can use 5 textbooks just for one question. So you're writing and your hand's already penning you, even your pen, the ink is finishing. Just one question, 5 textbooks. Now, this guy did not really prepare. So what did he do? Just in four pages of booklet, the Westphalian Treaty was the Treaty of 1648. In 1648 was the Westphalian Treaty. In France, according to Prussia and Germany, the 1648 treaty was the Westphalian Treaty of 15. So it was just rigmarole. So that you can use that kind of, tactics when it comes to impromptu speaking. But I'm not saying you should rigmarole, because if you're with intelligent people, they will just know that this guy or this lady is just is just rigmaroling. What is somebody did that sometime in a former place I was working. It was a Bible college, and they asked a very simple question: what is salvation? Or what is, yes, salvation? And the person said, oh wow, what is salvation? Well, salvation? Salvation. What is salvation? That is a very, very serious question. Ah, you can agree with me, class, that that is a powerful question. She was using that to remember what salvation is. So you can imagine how you can use some of these tactics when you are giving the spotlights. So preparedness builds spontaneity. The more you practice, the freer you become when speaking on the spot. Coach Samuel shared how he went to, is it MBS? Oh yeah. And he was just called on the spot to speak. And he spoke. Why? He has been preparing over time, preparation. So how do you conquer the fear of impromptu speaking? How do you speak with confidence? Embrace the moment. See it as an opportunity, not a trap. Don't say, this guy wants to embarrass me, or this MC, or this speaker. No. See it as an opportunity. Take a deep breath. Calm your body. Calm your mind. Remember, you are about to do something that people prefer to die than to speak. Impromptu speaking is not about perfection. There are those times when you speak, you say, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, when you finish. No, it's not about it. It's about presence. It's about poise. It's about purpose. What again? Prepare mentally. Whenever you're going to speak, anticipate questions. Acknowledge with with an affirmation. Oh, thank you very much, Anna, for that question. Thank you very much, Bruce, for that question. You have asked a very powerful question. Acknowledge the question. Give an affirmation. Then stay focused on the objective. Some people may ask you questions or ask you something off track. I mean, some people may ask you a question. Let's say, for example, can you talk about women empowerment? Don't go off track. Stay focused on women empowerment. Thank you very much for that question. When we talk about women empowerment, first of all, we need to understand that every woman needs to be empowered. Very simple. You don't need to read about women empowerment. Just that alone, that every woman needs to be empowered. I am a woman, and I ask myself, can I be empowered? What do I need to be empowered? Maybe learn a trade, learn a skill. You don't need to go into the nitty-gritties of what women empowerment is. So what is the outcome? Stay focused. Prepare mentally. Acknowledge. Buy in. Buy yourself some few seconds. Pause before you answer. Remember the think before speaking pause. Remember the different kinds of pause I taught you. Think before the introductory pause, introduction pause. Use phrase like, that's an interesting point you have made. Keep your conversation very simple. Don't go into so many things. Keep on practicing on your feet. So in the class, they say, who is going to say this? Practice. Immediately raise up your hand and speak. Go to the front seat whenever you attend an event and the front seat is vacant. Go to the front seat so that in case they call you to say something, you can say it. Or the speaker is speaking and points at you. Can you attest to what I'm saying? And you can say something. Visibility is key. Think about it. Create a safe space for your participants. Very important. Very, very, very important. Very, very important. This also works even with handling questions. Not just impromptu speaking, but also in handling questions and answer. Create a safe space. Recently, they celebrated 100 years of Toastmasters. And then, is it 5 years or 10 years or 9 years, something like that, of Muyenga Toastmasters. I was I was one of the first people, they call them chartered members, to begin Muyenga Toastmasters. I was staying in Muyenga when I first came to Uganda. So I stayed in Muyenga, Bukasa, Namuongo, that area. So we used to have our club in Shangri-La Hotel. So we were the first founding members. So recently they celebrated, is it 5 years or so, while celebrating 100 years of Toastmasters together. So they sent me an invitation, an email. I got an email. David Asanga, you're one of our founding members. I know you took a break, but you're still part of us. Please, can you show up? So when I showed up, I saw many new people that I don't know. They are now in Muyenga. They are in the club. I saw some old members. They are still there. Some people, they are not members, but they have been going to Toastmasters meeting. They have not yet signed up for 5 years. Imagine that. So I saw those people. So I never knew somebody took down my name and kept it secretly. Then it was time for, there's what they call table topics, just like impromptu speaking. And they said, tell us a moment that was the happiest day in your life. Wow. And they said, the person to speak on this is David Asanga. David Asanga, the happiest day in your life. The happiest day in your life, David Asanga. And my wife was there with me. My, oh my, I didn't know they are going to call me. Now, people before me that spoke, they said, they went to the microphone and said, please, I cannot speak. You should have told me there's a question you want to ask. Or can you ask something else? And they said, no, you have 2 minutes. If you cannot answer, go. So me, I went. I just said, wow. And I began. The happiest day of my life. What a powerful question, and a question to put me on the spot. Now, people were laughing. Now, that time they were laughing, I took a breath. And immediately I looked straight to where my wife was sitting. And I said, oh, the happiest day of my life was August. In fact, I made a mistake because I was nervous. So I made a mistake of our wedding day. So I said, the happiest day of my life was August 2022 instead of August 12th. And my wife can attest to it. And I called my wife, am I correct with the happiest day of my life? And she said, yes, you're correct, but it's August 12th. Now everybody began to laugh, knowing that I was nervous, but also I forgot my wedding anniversary. But I was able to speak on that topic. So create a safe space for your audience. Same with answering of questions. Listening actively. There are people, when they give you question, you say, come again, come again. No, no, no. Listen actively and pause before you give an answer. Seek to understand, not just to respond. Same thing we do in marriage. There's what we call holding of the napkin. We sometimes practice it in the house. When my wife is speaking, the napkin. That napkin is to tell me, don't talk, listen to her, hear her heart, she's hot. Listen to her. Hold the napkin. So you're eager, you're itchy to talk, but she tells you, I'm with the napkin. You're also with the napkin. Wait for me to finish before you speak. So speak, seek to understand, not to respond. Let's round up. Manage your emotions. This is more important when it comes to answering questions. Manage your emotions. Don't tell somebody, what kind of question is that? How can you ask me that kind of question? No, manage your emotions. Keep dialogue alive. Keep engaging. Very important. Be clear and concise. I've said it before. Use questions to open a conversation. For example, if you don't really understand what they have asked you, you can open a conversation. You can create a bridge. So you can say, what do you mean by that? This is now particularly when you're answering a question and you don't have any idea of it. Throw it back to the questionnaire. What do you mean by that? Can you explain it more clearly to me? I'm a little bit confused about your point. It shows you're vulnerable, but it also shows that you want to learn and that you're not a superstar. Ask questions and let them do the heavy lifting. Heavy lifting. Very important. Let them do the heavy lifting. Some people may come to you to ask questions to throw you off balance. They want to check if you are brilliant. So be smart also. Tell them, what do you mean by that? I'm talking about mental health, but you came here to tell me about project management. What can you share more about that? Then you keep quiet, allow them to share. If you don't know an answer and you feel they are experts in the room, you can also use an expert. You said you can just say, well, before I answer, that's to buy you time. Remember the buying. That's to buy you time. Well, before I answer, let me hear from Dr. So, Mr. This. Hannah, can you share with us? Isabel, can you give me your point? Kenneth, let me hear from you. Evening, you are a professional in this field. Let me hear from you. And you use the experts that are there. And then you're picking points from all of them. At the end of it all, you summarize. If there's no expert in the field, you just in your audience just say, sorry, I've not heard about that. Maybe you can give a little bit more context. If the person cannot give it, maybe he was just testing you, then you say, sorry, I've not read about it. Can we meet behind closed doors to talk about this? So what are the takeaways? The goal of question and answer is not to win arguments, but to build understanding. Be authentic, be attentive, be anchored in your message. Don't allow people to sway you off. It is a person that does the burden that leaves, the person that gives the answer that should give the burden of proof. Think about it. You can use it even in apologetics. Somebody tells you, I don't want to be a Christian. I don't think I can be a Christian. Then you ask the person, what do you mean by that? I don't think Christians are good people. What do you mean by that? You don't say, oh, yes, I know, I can understand what you're saying. Even me, I know somebody that's a Christian, she's not good. No, no, no. Just ask it, but what do you mean by that? I feel all professionals are not competent enough. Oh, that is a great statement. Can you throw more light on that? Can you shed more light on that? Let them do the heavy lifting. Communicate. A well-handled question can often communicate more powerfully than the entire presentation. Great speakers don't fear questions, don't fear impromptu speaking. They welcome it as proof that people were listening. Communicating with confidence is a key, no matter how knowledgeable you are or how knowledgeable the questionnaire might be. Confidence is very key. Good speakers answer questions. Great communicators answer people. The goal of question and answer again is not to prove yourself right, but to connect, clarify, and add value. At the end of it all, the question is, do you have a story? And I want to tell you, you have a story. Look deeply into your life. You have a story. Can you share it today? People want to hear from you. They want to connect with you. Can you share your story today and tell others and inspire others, encourage others? Think about it. You have a story. Share it today. So this is the assignment. I'm going to share it on the group as usual for this week. So I know today is the last class, but we are going to be meeting often. I've told you about 15th of April. And yes, your video presentation. Yeah, that reminds me. Your video presentation, you're beginning on the 8th. On the 8th of this month, your video challenge, 30-day video challenge. You're beginning on the 8th. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus, for reminding me. Yeah, your video challenge. So you're beginning, yes, on the 8th. I'll give more information to that. I know it's 8th. So start now, between now and the 8th, this period of Easter, chicken, rice, egg, tomatoes, and all the pork and everything you're going to eat, start gathering your videos for 30 days. Between now and 8, start recording your videos. Apart from the assignment you're sending, don't say you're doing your video challenge and you'll not do your assignment. No, no, this is rigorous. We're not joking here. So this is your assignment. You will do it while you're also preparing for your video challenge. The same thing with opening your LinkedIn, opening an Instagram, because that is where you're going to post your videos. Now, the videos, you will post it on the group. Everybody will see that you're posted, or the link where you're posting your videos. We go there to like and comment, whatever, or repost if you want to repost. Don't mind how your video is going to look like. Start small. Whether it is with a candle, start small. Whether it is with a torchlight, start. Whether you have ring light or not, start. Whether it's with your phone, you used it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, start. Everything is start. Sharon can share with you, and other people can tell you how far they have gone now. Their videos have metamorphosed. So go and begin to plan for your video. On the 8th, we are beginning. So on the 15th, we shall gather like this. We shall share it for a mock presentation. That one, if you want to use a PowerPoint, no problem. But if you want to stand while you're presenting, we're going to see how you present. So week 5 assignment, you have to give 3 minutes speech or story using the techniques of stories, connecting, sharing, amplifying emotions. You're going to share it. Not more than 3 minutes and not less than 3 minutes. Then the second one, you're going to write it down and just reflect, recall a time when you reacted defensively during a discussion or a question and answer. What was your motive at the moment, and what should they have been, looking at what you have studied now? I'll share it on the group, and then we shall see how to go on from there. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much, Coach Samuel. Over to you. Yeah. You should put your hands for me. I'm not seeing any hands. All right. No, but you don't like me. I didn't connect with you. Really? Okay. Okay, Coach Samuel.
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe you didn't recognize your moment, your bang moment. You you bypassed it, but otherwise, well done.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so
thank
much.
you so much, David, for sharing. There's a hand up from Sharon. Please, Sharon, when it comes to point of order, we grant it immediately. Yes, Sharon, before I say anything.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Coach David, for the lecture. I have a question to ask about the point you made of sharing our weaknesses. Like, how do you balance it as Christians? Because I know, I will give an example. There's a time I wasn't feeling fine, and then my friend met me. So they asked me, "How are you?" And I told them, "I'm not fine. I'm sick. I have malaria." They said, "No, you don't have malaria." I told them, but I'm not feeling fine. No, don't say that you have malaria. So how do I balance that? Okay, for me, when I was saying that I have malaria, I wasn't owning the malaria. Yes, I understood that the malaria was in my blood, in my body, but I wasn't like identifying with it. So how do you balance it that even when you communicate, this person understands, yes, that I'm sharing this weakness, but I don't want you to be comfortable and think that it's okay for you to continue in that situation. For instance, there are people you tell them that there are times when I struggle to pray. There are times when I wake up and I don't feel like praying, but I just sit there and listen to worship music or even listen to a sermon. So someone is going to hear you say that and they are going to make it a norm that it is okay. Even Sharon also feels it sometimes. So maybe it's okay. So how do you balance it so that when you're sharing your weaknesses, people don't think that you're telling them to be okay with them feeling that way?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very, very powerful question. Very, very powerful. Many speakers have gone through that, or they face that in a bid of trying to share their weakness or their weaknesses, people may take it for the norm or may take it for granted. So yes, here's my take. I'll tell you that I'm sharing this with you, but this is not the how will I put it? This is not the how it's supposed to be. For example, the example you have shared, I have malaria. Yes, I have malaria and I'm sharing with you. I have malaria. And you're telling me, no, you don't have malaria. Speak faith, speak positive. Of course, I have to speak positive, but I'm telling you right now, I have malaria and I struggle to come to the stage, or I struggle to come to speak to you irrespective of the fact that I have malaria. But I know that I am healed. Jesus has healed me. God is on my side. But right now, how I'm feeling. For example, I went somewhere and I fainted. I went to one of the universities in Uganda, Bugema University, and I fainted. And they asked me, why are you fainting? I told them I was fasting. And they said, why are you fasting? You are coming for an interview in a school and you are fasting. Now, reaching somewhere, I was to lead a prayer uh, where I was working. And coming from there, I felt very weak. I went and I fainted again in the school. Now, will I start saying, no, 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 I'm not fainting? And I tell the people, I'm coming to speak. I had to tell them, sorry, I can't speak. I can't come to the pulpit. I'm fainting here. Right here, I'm fainting. I'm fainting. Yes, I was to speak. I was to be the MC of the day. But right now, I'm fainting. But that is not to say that you take it as a norm. Like you mentioned the case of prayer. We have to like we said, we connect humanly. I have to be very plain with you that there are some times that I may stay that I may not even have the ability or even the grace to pray. That means now that I'm telling you that there are times life will weigh you down, that you wake up, you cannot pray. What do? You just sit down, play music, and just that alone is prayer. But I put a caveat. Don't copy me. That is not the rule. I'm not saying that you do that today, you do that tomorrow, you do that next month, and you say, Mr. Sanga or Sharon said one time that it is not, you don't always feel the ability to pray. I can remember, what do you call it? Isabel, last presentation, she said, spend 15 minutes. That is a discipline. Now, when you're telling such people, you bring the balance of discipline that in as much as it is necessary for you to pray, prayer is not by emotions of how you feel, even when life may be overwhelming? Have you cultivated the discipline that, okay, just one day you felt that way? How about the next day? Is the discipline still there? It's just like the content we're talking of now, content creation. If you don't have the discipline, you can't be posting on social media because there are days you don't feel it. Now, those days you don't feel it, you can do away with not posting. That's understandable. But will you continue like that the next day, the next day? And remember, life is about consistency, and consistency compounds. That you don't feel like reading today, you don't feel like spending 15 minutes just to meditate because I didn't have money to pay the rent, or my house help ran away, or my boss spoke to me, or one of my friends just insulted me, or I broke up with somebody. Okay, that is understandable. But have you built discipline that you can pick up yourself, that after that you continue, that even when you don't feel it, you can do it? There are times, I give you an example. There are times I don't feel like praying. I just stay there, I sit down, I play music, and that's all. Or I just pick my Bible, I read. Now, in that place of reading my Bible, I have some moments, some encouragement, and I now begin to pray. You can put some of those examples. There are other times I don't even feel like even reading the Bible. I don't stay there. I listen to a sermon, or even I don't even want to hear anybody. I close the room, close the windows, everywhere is dark. I just sit down there. Just sit down there. Just ask myself questions. And that is enough. Now, you will tell the person that prayer is not just a routine that you're doing, but it's a relationship. So let them understand that it's a place from relationship. That's why you're not doing it mechanically. That when you don't feel it, you don't beat yourself up because you see it from a point of relationship. There are other times, because of the discipline I've built, I don't just listen to music. I've learned how to pray without music. There are churches near me, they make so much noise, and when you go, it's just two people on the microphone shouting. They are not praying. It's just the piano person playing and the guitarist. You're hearing the noise. They are not praying. Just two people on microphone shouting. So one day I asked myself, can I pray without music? So for some time I did that for some time, and now I can pray without music, and my prayer is rich. I can spend 2 hours, I can spend 1 hour. Can I study without anyone around me? 1 hour, focus, concentration, and you're studying. So when you tell somebody like that, at the end you put a caveat. I'm not saying this is the norm, because the problem we have, especially as leaders, content creators, is that we want to use our experiences, that is the principle, that is the norm. No, I'm just showing you how vulnerable I am. And I put a caveat. If you're going to talk about me, then look at that man, he doesn't pray. There are sometimes he doesn't pray. Well, that's your business. God knows my heart. God sees my heart. He knows that I'm vulnerable. And it is the vulnerable people that God loves, a contrite heart. I don't want to turn this to a preaching, but I hope you get me. You get me. For example, there was a very big leader, a director. He came one day and he was sharing with us. I was there in that meeting. And he said, for the past 3 weeks, I've not read my Bible. I almost said, hey, leader, pastor, you have not read your Bible for the past. But I understood it. Later he came and said, my wife have not gotten a child for 10 years. We have been married 18 years. We are married, no children. And I was wondering, I woke up that day, I was wondering, God, I've been serving you. Now, those people who don't have children can connect to him. He's not connecting. Now, those people who are asking God maybe for a visa, for something else, they are also connecting. But he was able to be vulnerable. But at the end, he said, I'm not saying you should stay for 3 weeks without reading your Bible, because that is what you need. That is what you need. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. But now we could understand that a leader, very tall, pastor of that high caliber, can face that. We're humans. We're humans. I don't know people that have it all figured out and they tell you, you know what, for the past 20 years, I've never committed any weakness. Okay, it's okay. I've not shouted. It's okay. No problem. Your audience, let's see how they connect with you. But we are not saying you say a weakness that normally you are not supposed to do. For example, you come and say, yesterday you are married, and you say, yesterday, I slept with a woman. Where that's a weakness. No, 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 no. For you as a leader, we expect high. There's a high standard. Credibility. Remember, people ask questions. Is this man credible? Is this woman credible for us to listen? I can't come and say I slept with a woman yesterday and I'm sharing my weakness. No, 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 no. I hope I answered that. Coach Samuel can shed more light, or anybody here can say something. We're practicalizing what we are learning. Yeah.
I think you've said it all, Coach David, and thank you so much for sharing. And I want also to just say thank you so much for the session. Friends, join me in thanking Coach David for taking us through this journey from the time we began. Just like others, I was also surprised when I saw when I saw the post with KK mentioning that we are at the tail end of this program. So it's really awesome. But as Coach David indicated, and I think Anna said, this is just the beginning. From experience, I want to say that you're never a perfect speaker. Every day you're learning. Even myself being here, there are things that I learn every day. So even as we go out there to start our speaking journeys, it's about continuous practice and continuous showing up. We have the challenge that is coming up, as indicated. Take this positively. This is not to do work for David, or to do work for maybe just for passing time. What we're going to do within the challenge is to help elevate our visibility. We've had a lot of testimonies even from our previous participants. Like as an example is Ruth Musime, who was posting about sustainability and social inclusion, different aspects. And along the way, somebody reached out to her and said, we have this opportunity. Are you interested? And that's only because they saw them on that journey of posting videos. I'll give you an example. Like when you post 30 videos, means that even if it's a subject, for example, maybe Evelyn speaks about administration, by the time you're done with the 30th video, you have really spoken, and that has already made you a subject matter expert. Even the internet recognizes it. So we need to make sure that we are showing up. I know it's not comfortable, but it gets easier with time when you do it. And at the end of the day, have the reason why you're doing it, have the why behind why you're actually doing it. The fact that you came through to this program is itself is very important. That is actually for a key reason. So I'm cheering you on as we go through this process. I know even at this program, as we wind down, you might still be feeling fears and wondering whether you're ready. But I want to tell you that this is more like a starting ground. It's just like the way you get married and you're given the certificate. Now you have gotten the training, you've gotten the counsel. Now it's time for you to go. One thing that we have an advantage of as members of the club is we're a community. So you're not left to run alone. And this is not the end of the relationship, because we're going through a challenge. We're also going through the graduation process. We're also going through, after that, we want to cheer each other. Once the last cohort got done with their practice, we went on to even have them moderate some of our sessions as a Transformation Professionals Club. We also expect you to hold webinars where we shall support you, cheer you on. That is what makes us as a community, and that is what makes our learning so unique and mentorship unique. You're no longer on yourself as alone, you're part of a community. And of course, even as we proceed, you'll be able to think through and see, do I want to join the Transformation Professionals Club? Sharon here was part of the last cohort, and one of the steps she made is to be part of the club. So that keeps you in touch of people of like minds, people on the same journey of growth. And when opportunities come through, we want to make sure that we are leveraging the networks that we've built, but we're also supporting our members. Right now, you're ambassador and you're part of us. So I just want to encourage you that I know how you might be feeling, and it never gets easier. You've gone through all these uncomfortable assignments, and you've demonstrated your resilience. As you go out, as you start, there are times when you're going to make a post and it may only you be who likes it or even comments on it. But if one of us started like that, we started as low as today, you might see us getting a lot of engagement, but because we first believed in ourselves. Like Anna said, there are always those cases where you feel you have all it takes, but there's always something to learn. And above everything, when you keep showing up, you become better at it. You become better at it. Like David shared, you'll interface a lot of impromptu speaking. One of the key tips that I give you is each one of you, based on your speaking prepositions that you already shared, have already like master your speech. I've been invited a lot to speak about career, and I have a speech around that. I even have slides, like I have now a slide bank. If you invite me to speak about personal finance, I'll not start from zero. I have also create frameworks. If you've joined one of my some of my sessions, you've seen me use frameworks. I have the 5 principles of personal finance. I speak about a career. I also bring in principles in there. When you have all these frameworks, principles, it gets easier because you keep on relating this. And then what you just do is you keep adding personal stories. Vulnerability, like David shared, he spoke about a lot about his marriage. I speak a lot about my career. I speak about my finances. Vulnerability helps you connect with the audience, because at the end of the day, somebody can just go and Google or even ask ChatGPT for answers. But the reason why they want to listen to you as a speaker is because you're going to share personal stories that relate to them. So you need to embrace to see, how do I share? I usually tell people that, yes, you might be uncomfortable with some of the stories. I'll give you an example. I grew up with a stepmother, but you find me that I'm not going to just come and share whatever I need to share. Sometimes there's what we call protecting the character in your message, to see if at all it's a workplace where you worked, and maybe there's a challenge that you faced along that. Sometimes you may speak of a third party and say, for example, there's a story about Sharon went through this experience, but when you're speaking about yourself, but at the end of the day, you want to share the message. You also do not want to just fake it. You want to share something that is authentic. And let me tell you, something authentic will actually be seen. Somebody will be able to know that this is authentic. So I congratulate you. Congratulations upon getting this step. This is the beginning. And I've seen each one of you. I've seen you share videos. I've been silently watching whatever you've been doing, and I believe you have all it takes. the fact that you made the step to get here, I really want to say that, yes, you have what it takes. And together, we're going to do great things. When I think about the Transformation Professionals Club as a team lead, we have a lot that we have in stock. We want to make sure that we can change the world together, and it starts from now. And this is the reason why we organize such programs, such that we can be able to grow the people that we are going to work with. We cannot change the world as mediocres. We have to change the world as people who are going to be action takers and are going to do great things that make us shine out there. So thank you so much for being part of this, and again for trusting our program. I know some of you may have not known about either Signature Speakers or the Transformation Professionals Club, but you made the decision to actually join the program, and here you are. I love the testimonies that have come through, and I believe that we are going to change the world. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Samuel. You've said it all. Wow, thank you also for giving the opportunity for us to be on this platform every day, every Wednesday. You're there at work. Also, this is there waiting for you. Same thing on Friday, you're there at work, but also this is the webinar is waiting for you. So life is very, like you always say, there's no comfort in growth, but there's no growth in comfort. And I saw something yesterday by a very great leader. He said, if you want to have an ordinary, thriving, surviving life, no problem. You can be on your comfort zone. But people that make impact, they have uncomfortable shadows. So you can imagine. Right now, I'm supposed to be with my wife because her love language is attention. When she comes back from work or when we come back, we want to share feedback. How was your day? How did it go? But now I'm not with her. So this is more important at the moment. At the moment, very important. So uncomfortable or uncomfortability on having an uncomfortable schedule is what will set you apart. Some of you now, like Kenneth, he has an MBA class that starts 5:30 to 8. So you're wondering, this is someone that is also working, and many of you also. Gava, he said he has been in the village. I'm sure it's a project he's working on. Same thing with Isabel, all of you. You left what you're supposed to do to be in this class. So we don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. We know you will spread the news to others, the transformation that you're getting, and also they will see by the time you start posting. So like we said, if you don't have a LinkedIn, go now, open it. Very simple. Put a very great profile picture. Don't put a picture that is not good. Put a very captivating profile picture. Then you go. Yeah, spread the news, spread the news, spread the news. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for your assignments. Those of you that have submitted, don't worry, I'll give you feedback. I've listened. Sometimes what I do, I first listen, and sometimes I'm walking on the road, or I'm in a vehicle, I'm sitting down, I'm remembering your speech. Okay, I should say this, I should give him this feedback, I should give her this feedback. So, Evelyn, I've seen your video. Same thing with Gaba, your 3 videos, but my feedback is coming. But there's no problem. Thank you so much. I think we should have a word of prayer. Yes. Isabel, you have been talking so much of Easter. I've been watching your status. Easter, 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 Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. So pray for us. It's like you are in the mood of Easter. You're already waiting for crucifixion of Jesus and the resurrection. So let's hear from you. Pray for us.
Thank you, Coach. Easter is a very beautiful season that we have in the church in the season. So
Wow.
it's one of the biggest. After fasting, you have been praying. Now you are expecting a breakthrough from God. You're expecting to resurrect with Jesus. So it's a very beautiful season. Thank you so much.
You have just practiced impromptu speaking.
Exactly. Yes, it's very
I
not
love the
easy.
way you began. I love the way you began. Easter is a very, I love that. I love that. Wow, wow, wow. These are products. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for the journey that you have been with us. It's a very promising journey ahead of us as we continue. And as we are going to share a word of prayer, we pray that the Holy Spirit may guide us, that Jesus Christ may be with us, that all our guardian angels may walk with us in this journey that we are going to start. And we believe that our guardian angels have been moving with us. And we pray they continue to guide us, help us remember what we forget, help us to walk through this journey with us. And I pray through Jesus Christ that everyone on this call may be blessed, everyone on this call may be empowered, may be showered with the precious blood of Jesus as we enter this Easter period and as we continue with this season of Easter, the season of the challenges that we are going to take on. We pray that the Holy Spirit may continue to be with us, may continue guiding us, may give us wisdom, knowledge, strength, and power to continue. And we pray with thanksgiving through the mighty name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank
Amen.
you.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Sleep well.
Good night.
Yeah,
Night.
good night. Yes.